had one felt good so far.
Stay right there. Okay. So the big thing we can see, right, and kind of like what that other fitter or something like told you, you see how your club path's getting really way out to the right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something that we gotta work on there. So set up real quick. Okay. So once you kind of notice that, right? Okay. If you start to feel that, like you're really getting out to the right here, set up for me. Okay. All right, let's find out where's that caused at, right? If I'm here, where's the club going?
Yeah, out to the right.
So what's that tell me?
Tell me I'm going way too far and I'm swinging way inside.
Correct. So one of those things is I want you to be able to understand and diagnose what you're doing wrong out there on the course. I can't be with you all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so when you start to see those things, we got to start asking questions. Yeah, good. Much better. Okay.
It almost felt like I was pushing the club out that way.
That's okay. Good. Good.
That was inside.
Give me about 2 more here and we'll take a look on video, okay? Good. Good job with pass getting a little bit better. Good. Let's take a look at that one. See yourself lifting there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need to go up that high, okay? And I can tell you that that's going to be more of a flatter shoulder turn here. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on through here. Okay. You got to get rid of that lift, okay? So I can definitely tell that we're probably getting to the inside by where I can see that club at. Okay. See how your shoulders are pretty much turned all the way at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, and now you're going to be like, well, I got to get, this just isn't going to be enough for me, so I'm going to get a little bit more. And there we go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to get a little bit more of a flatter shoulder turn. So let's put the club down just for a sec, okay? Let's get into our golf posture for me, please. Okay. Put our arms across our chest. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to hold your head, okay? And I just want you to turn your left shoulder down for me. That's it. Okay, there's your backswing. Wherever your arms are, that's where they're at. That's fine. I don't care. Okay? That's not going to generate the power. The body is. Okay? Feel how your shoulder's more down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But when you start to over-rotate, give me that over-rotation that you like to give. Right. See how you start to lift up right there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to bring our shoulders up right there, and then we have to do something to get back down. Correct. So for us, I'm sure it feels like we're rotating less, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. That's going to make it a lot easier, right, to get back down to where it needs to be, right? But for us right now, what we're doing is we're here, and I think we need to kind of work a little bit on our wrist hinge a little bit here, but we'll take a look at that. But as we do, we kind of get a little bit inside here. You can see my shoulders have turned quite a bit, right? Even if I don't really move my hands. See what I do?
Mm-hmm. Pull it inside then up.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So
Yeah, you were just talking about that there, yes. That you were showing me before, hey, once you get to this point, that club comes up.
correct.
I didn't feel that in any of them shots.
Okay. Right. And we talked about that quite a bit. How much where you're noticing you're feeling less weight with it, right?
Yeah.
Controlling the club, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I keep that onto the inside, you feel how heavy that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your hands are so used to that weight, you want to feel that weight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we got to get used to that, kind of getting a little bit hinged, right? And I want to be, when I get here, right, I want to have a little bit of a wrist hinge, and that way you can see that this shaft and my shoulders start to match up better, right? And as I get on up here, boom. And that's as far as I need to go. I don't need to go any further than that, because at this point, then I have to lift up, and then I'm going to have to reroute the club.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, set up again for me, please. Okay. Now, what we want to kind of feel here, boom, right, chop, right? Hogan always talked about when he got his hands over his right foot that he was going to start elevating that club. Okay. A lot of people start to do this. They just kind of run this thing out and away.
Yeah.
Right? And then it gets over here and over there. Okay.
And then, of course, there was times that I would swing back and more wrist caught. So I'd be up here and I go
Yeah.
like this, then try to hold it, on the way down.
Absolutely. And then you've got an open club face, and what do you got? Bye-bye. Okay. Good. Yes. Yes. Okay. So do me a favor. Let's try to focus on what we talked about there. Okay. Don't worry about what the results are, but let's go with 4 shots here. Okay.
Try to get extra out of it.
Give me an honest assessment of what you felt there.
I felt a little more smoother. I mean, there was one in there that
Okay.
I know I turned too much.
Gotcha. You felt that, and that's
Yeah.
and that's
And
good.
It was just felt like a shorter
Okay.
backswing.
Good.
But I could still feel the load,
Mhm.
back here.
Good.
Once I got back here, I could feel the load.
Good. Who we want to kind of emulate in our mind, okay? Let's kind of go to tour players. Where's he at? Here we go. All right. This is much more where we want to keep our length at for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. For me and for a lot of people, what I try to get them to think more about this right here than over here, okay, than having too much arm swing, okay. The reason that is that we're going to generate so much more power when our hands are further away from our head than we are when our hands get closer to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I kind of think about having more of a lesser turn and a wider takeaway, like out over here, right, keep my hands away, I'm going to be here in this spot. A lot shorter and wider, right? And now it's going to be a lot easier for me to drive back down and get that to where it needs to be. But once I get up over here and snap that compression that I built, right, then I have to kind of do whatever it is, you know, whatever my mind can make to get back to that path. Okay? So what I'd like to see, Robert, or the idea is that, and it won't come right away, right? But having the idea of keeping my hands further away from my head in a more shorter manner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So if we could keep your hands like here, that would be better. Does that make sense? And it's going to be a lot easier for you to drive that ball back down to where it is. Okay. Because I'll show you a drill here in a little bit that'll, I think, will kind of blow your mind. What club do we have there, Robert?
9-iron.
9-iron, okay, thank you.
For some reason, I feel like I'm finishing up on my toes.
Okay. So most recommended taking it too far inside. I think we kind of established that a little bit. Okay. Flat shoulder turn comes with inside takeaway and early extension, right? So that's why you're feeling you're on your toes. Okay. Do you know what early extension is?
It's actually where my body's coming up.
A little bit. That's part of it. But really, what it is that when the rear end goes closer to the ball.
Well,
What
yes,
happens?
I feel sometimes when I hit a bad shot, I'll be like this. I look at my arms, I look down, and go,
Right.
why are you throwing your hips at that?
Right. Well, because we've gone so far inside, pulled our weight around, we're trying to get back to it. Does that make sense? So if we can get you to kind of stay in posture, that drill that I was doing with you, you're not going to have that problem of coming forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we're pulling stuff here, and then as you swing, you're trying to get things back on. You see how my pelvis, thrusts
Push
forward
forward.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's one of the big things that we kind of see as well. Okay. So, but the big thing is the takeaway is what it says right there. Okay, for the down the line view. Okay. Now I want you to take one face on here, and we'll see what our issues are with that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Any questions there?
No.
All right. Let's see what we've got here for face on. Okay, maintain posture in the backswing. We talked about that as well. Fix your reverse pivot. Okay, so you're turning on over, so you're getting your chest.
Just back to the left.
Mhm. Casting. Get your body more open at impact and reduce slide at impact. So really a lot of this will start to take care of itself if we take care of that. The casting's another issue that we'll fix, but this will fix that. This would start fixing that as well. And reducing the slide, that would reduce that as well. All right, so maintaining our posture, right? So talked about that as well, right? And let's talk about, let's have you take a look at, fix your reverse pivot. All right, let's take a look at that so you get a good understanding about that. Any questions, Bob?
No.
We noticed in your swing that you have a reverse pivot. A reverse pivot can lead to us having to sway excessively in the downswing or for us to hang back. Both of these things causing some inconsistent ball flight. Now, a reverse pivot is when the chest is closer to the target than the pelvis at the top of the backswing. We can measure this with our sway gap tracker. Sway gap is measuring the difference between where the center of the chest is and the center of the pelvis. When we have a positive sway gap at the top of the backswing, that means you have a reverse pivot. Don't forget, check out those recommended drill videos and practice.
Okay. So, does that make sense right there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what I want you to kind of do here is I want you to put the club across our chest just as so. Okay, good. All right, go ahead and get into posture for me, please. Good. All right, so as I go, I want you to turn. Go ahead, turn. Okay, you want to get your chest over on this side. Okay, so you're kind of, as you kind of go here, right, you kind of go, and then you get over on this side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You feel more weight on that left side when you
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
yeah. I can
Okay.
feel a lot of weight on
We
it.
want to feel weight more on that right side, okay? Okay, so do it again. Good. You feel that?
Yeah.
Does that
I
feel
the weight-
different?
A lot of weight on the inside of my right foot.
Right, absolutely. So it has to have that feeling, okay, when I do this, it has to have that feeling like this right foot wants to spin out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? That's going to ensure that I'm getting my weight into the correct position. Yes. Okay? So that's a feeling that we want to kind of have. We want to have that feeling that right foot's going to slide out, but it's not. Okay? Or the other thing that we want to kind of have feeling here with that, okay? Here's my wallet pocket, right?
Yeah.
Here's my sternum, right? As I turn, my wallet pocket's going to be closer to the target than my sternum. Okay, so as I turn, boom. Okay? Or as my instructor taught me, okay? If this is the top of my spine and this is the bottom of my spine, okay? When I turn, the bottom should be closer to the target than the top. You're in this position for that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, if I get your weight back over there, do you feel like you have to turn up so much?
You mean up this way?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you don't have to try to make a false turn or try to keep turning to get a feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But once we can kind of get this going right here, boom, now I can really get into it. Okay? It almost seems like like what they kind of, you know, one of the things is that they kind of told you to hang on your left side a little bit. And I want you to get that weight a little bit more on your right side. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. Feel like that left shoulder's down, right? Down and around. Keep going. Yeah, there you go. Much better. Yes. Okay? That's where we want to kind of be right there. That's going to help maintain that posture a little bit, right? And if I can get you to get your chest to turn behind your pelvis, okay, you're going to maintain that posture, hopefully, and come through. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions there, big guy?
No.
All right.
I guess. Well, I guess
Yeah.
I felt Now, once I get back here
Mhm.
and I go to go, it's like, I'm like, okay, okay, okay. And then all of a sudden, I gotta like throw everything I can.
Okay. That was going to be the next thing I figured you were going to ask. It's good. It's good. All right. So, okay. Once we kind of figure that out, right? You step right on over there.
Sure.
Right. You got to kind of figure out how, and probably the next thing it would tell me, right, is that now that you're starting to figure out how to get behind the ball, right? How do we get back to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's got to be a little bit of that kind of. If I went like this. Okay. So there's got to be a little bit of, as I'm going up to the top, my weight transfer starts to go forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I've always had a problem. Okay, how do I get that feel?
Yeah.
To get that back.
Okay. Okay. So let's do this. So if I went like this, here we go. I'm going to get just like this. This would be a good drill for you, okay? And I'm going to get my foot together right here, okay? And I go like this. You see what I did there? Okay. Once again. All right, so I'm going to kind of set up to where I want to be. All right, I'm going to put my foot back. I'm going to put the club back over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start back and I'm going to step forward. And I'm going to get that cross crawl pattern that I'm looking for. Okay? Okay, and that's what I'm trying to get. Okay? And get a feel, you know, as I do this, here and here, right? Now, if I do this correctly, I'm going to feel a lot of power, but not a lot of length. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if I had a rubber band from my toe to my hands, right, I'd have that thing stretched out, right? For you, it would be like this, right? It'd be all around your head and stuff. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once again, kind of get like this. We'll start without a ball. Okay. Just get here, and then as you start to go back, step forward, and get a feel for what we're trying to do here.
So actually, you want to step before the swing.
Gets to the top.
Gets
Yes,
to the
sir.
top.
Yes, sir. So all the good players, okay, and it's very minute, okay. Okay, here we go. Watch his left side here. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, there's his step. It doesn't look, you wouldn't really notice it if you were just somebody looking, right? But this is big. That's got his weight recentered onto the left side now. Now he's got everything moving, and now he's got this nice big stretch right here,
Yeah.
okay, across his body, which I think he does it the best. Okay, but once again, up, 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 boom, he's stepping forward and he's still kind of on the way back a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's kind of do this. I'm going to kind of start you off without a ball so you really get a good feel for it. I want you to put your feet together for me, please. Okay. We're going to start a little bit different here for you. No, no, no. I want your feet together. Okay, I'm going to move the glove. Move it out here, waist front.
Yeah.
Loosen up these forearms. Loosen up these forearms. There you go, okay? Remember, we're swinging the club, not hitting the ball. Okay? Now, as you start to swing back, I want you to step forward. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that again. Feet together. Okay? Club out in front. Swing it back, step forward. Yeah. Okay? Try that a couple times for me, okay? Club out in front of us for me, please. Step and swing. Okay. Once again, feet together, club out in front. Swing back, step forward.
A little late there on the step.
Correct, but you're starting to figure it out, though. Are you starting to figure out where you need to kind of start doing this a little bit? Yeah. Feel everything's going forward?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it felt pretty good.
Take a look at this. Look how you kept your hands away from your body. Okay. No over rotation there, is there?
No.
Okay. Nobody's trying to lift there, are they?
No.
Everything's down, 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 isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
the question being is once I'm in this position or starting to go, what key or what trigger can I have that I know I've got the weight back? Because I can't go out there and swing the golf club.
Well, there's two suggestions I'd have. There's two suggestions. One is a sequence in our head, a timing.
Yeah.
Okay, something where it's like this. Okay. DJ Singh and Ernie Els was so lucky he had the best name of all times. But what Ernie would do is he would just say his own name. He would go Ernie Els, right? And he would get this timing to get his body to work, right? Now, what the older players used to do, the in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? What was very prevalent was the heel lift, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
That was their timing. Okay.
And so once you felt the heel come up, then you just
Yeah, you'd stomp it down, right? And that got your weight going forward, right? One of the best was always Jack Nicklaus, right? Right? So it takes practice. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you're going to get it right away.
Yeah.
But it's going to take practice. It's got to take timing, right? But if you lift up your heel a little bit, right? Which I don't think is a bad thing as we start to get older, right? It gives us more rotation, right? And then, yeah. Right, that's something that's very lost now in the modern swing with the feet being down.
down.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I should have bought it or not, but I bought that. Did you ever hear of the easiest swing caddy?
No.
Oh, it's the easiest swing is designed not to harm your body. They've designed it.
Okay.
And it's basically one part moves, all parts move.
Okay.
In the swing, and it's just so relaxing. It's like, what's this guy hitting? Well, they have a training aid, and I got it out in the car. And it tells you when you release.
Okay.
In other words, when you swing back, if you get the clicking sound here, you're too
yeah.
early.
Yeah.
The clicking sound should be from here to here.
Correct, yeah.
So it's like,
Where most of the speed should be.
yeah. And if you don't get it that way,
Uh-huh.
it won't click. And it's got different settings as far as miles per hour.
Oh,
Things
okay.
like that. But
Okay.
I've been starting to use it. I just got it a couple of weeks ago. And
Okay.
I've been swinging with it. And I mean, I can get up there and go, click, click. And I can get up there and go, nothing.
Well, that's because your speed was back there, I could already tell.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely one of those things that, as I like to tell people, it's like getting onto the on-ramp for the interstate.
Yeah.
Right? It's gradual
Right.
acceleration, right? And once I get up to the interstate, I'm at full 80 miles an hour or whatever it is, right? But it's not 80 off the get-go, right?
Yeah.
If you look at somebody like let's go with Hideki Matsuyama. He's probably got the slowest swing there is.
Oh yeah, he gets back to the top and I can count like 15.
Oh, you can play a game of
It's
chess,
like-
right? But I mean, I think it definitely proves to us that it's definitely about drawing that bow back as strong as you can, and then releasing it with timing, right? Instead of just there's
Yeah.
no speed or power in that. It's just emotion, right? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, does that make sense of what we're kind of working on as far as like getting a feel for transferring our weight a little bit? And
Yeah.
getting rid of that reverse
Like,
pivot.
there's so many times I'll feel this,
Mhm.
I'll come through and I'm going, and I finish up on my toe.
Yeah.
Instead of actually, I should be finishing back on towards my heel.
Yeah. Well, if we have a reverse pivot, we're going our weight this way, back over this way, and if we're not going to stay on our backside, we're going to move it this way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You're going to move the weight somehow, right?
Yeah.
Just not in the way that we want, exactly. Okay? So, but the big thing is if you can kind of harness that feel, you see how much shorter and tighter your golf swing was there? That's going to create power.
Felt like a rock.
was swinging too far inside, so we're going to work on the plane board a little bit too, okay? How's that feeling for you, Robert?
Better.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what I did last time I was here, but all of a sudden the ball off the club face just, it felt like mush for about 10, 15 shots.
Gotcha.
You know, like there's like, wow, I really like that feel.
I gotcha. How are we doing with our wrist set? Better on that one for sure. That'll look better. So, once we get into
Hey, there's my pull hook.
well, yes. So let's take a look at this. This is what I want to kind of see here. All right, we got to get our angle of attack down a little bit. You see that with the irons?
Yeah, that's before you want the A.
Correct. Correct. Okay, so
What kind of number would you really look for in that aspect, like a 1.0 or anything after an A? I know, understand.
yeah, I'd like to see at least for you a 3 or 4.
Yeah,
inches.
I was working on that there because we did do a little bit, and what I did was okay, Bob, I put a tee out there, and most of the time I clipped the tee, and sometimes I wouldn't. I said, what shot would make you go after it? Well, if I play the ball way up, I got to go after it to
Okay.
keep the angle coming down and through.
How
and
about a
trying-
punch shot?
Like a punch shot?
How about a punch shot? How would that be? Wouldn't that be more down?
Yeah,
Think about it, right?
yeah, just a.
Right? Yeah. So that's where we want to kind of have more of that feeling of a punch shot, keeping our club low, right? Than trying to get it up and help it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? You know, when our coach, if we had a problem with low point, he'd put a rope out in front of us about waist high, and we had to hit punch shots and keep our club underneath it. Right? That would keep my low point as low as it possibly could, keeping my weight shift forward before I came up. That would guarantee that I don't lift back up. Does that make sense right
Yeah.
there? Okay, so much more of a punch shot, I would say. Does that seem to make more sense there?
Yeah. Okay, 1.2.
Yeah. So here's another way to kind of think about that. Okay. So one way to kind of practice that is we put a tee out front. Okay, that's a great way to kind of do it. Another thing is, if you've ever chopped wood, you've had one of these, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wedge. All right, put that thing right on over here, where it's at. Okay. Let me demonstrate for you, big guy. Okay. So if I kind of put that right here, right, kind of gets me in the idea of getting up over that wedge, right?
Yeah.
And then down over that wedge. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? And where's my low point? Ahead. Okay?
1.4, yeah.
Okay? So, if you come on in here, okay, I want you to kind of just give me some small little shots where we try to get the club up over that and then down over that. Okay? Little punch shots, okay?
Okay.
All right, you see where my low point was there?
3 point. Wow.
Okay.
About that far?
Yeah, about that far. You could even be a little bit easier on yourself, just a little bit. There you go. Okay, so feel like you get your club up and over that, right, and then back down. Does that give you a good idea? You see how you hit it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives you great feedback. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you just a little room there. There you go, good. There you go. Not worried about it. I know you got the low point there. Good job. Okay. How did that one feel?
It felt actually pretty damn good.
Good.
1-9.
Right? And you know, not to say anything, but look at our, where's our
Tax 2.1.
Yeah. Club path was 2.9. That is without a doubt the lowest and the best that you've had so far, as far as your swing direction.
Usually it's
Correct, but now that I put your focus here, right, what are you
Yeah.
trying to do? More up and down, right?
yeah.
Good. Oh, buddy. Keep going, you're doing great.
Hey, 2.8.
Good job, good work, right?
Yeah.
Good work. Right, and your club path is coming down significantly. I mean, at 5.9, that is so much better than 12 point whatever it was. Not bad if you like it perfect. Good.
Good. 1-4.
Right, but you notice how you're not getting a B on any of them now?
Yeah.
That's big. Okay, that's compression.
That one felt pretty good.
Look at that great low spot right there, 3.9. Really good work. Good work right there.
Yeah, that one felt really good.
Okay, club path only 5 degrees out to the right, which is a big change for us.
Whoa!
Now you're getting there. Good work. Good.
Yeah, I almost got the feeling when I do that is when I go to hit it, I have to be thinking of hitting out here.
What was one of the things that we talked about? Need more forward shafting and
Definitely.
impact, right?
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is. Look at that.
Actually, it feels different off the club face.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it feels,
Your smash factor's gone up quite a bit. Your low point, look at that. Good work. Great stuff. Did you feel the face a little bit open on that one?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you hit that little device just a little bit.
Yeah. I
Okay.
felt it. down. Come on, Bob. Get back up.
Work on that angle. There you go. There you go.
She's coming back up. Good. Yeah, the ones I was hitting 4 and 5, you know, the 4 and 5 I got, really felt good.
Absolutely. If you know, in the world of the tour, right? You know, I'd like for you to be kind of more about a 5 or a 6. But if I could get you to about a 3 or a 4 today, that would be huge compared to the B's that we've been getting. So I'm just happy that we're getting some A's on the board. That's the big thing. Good. Got a little lazy with that wrist hinge. You hear that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
See?
could feel it.
Okay. Right. You got to get that thing elevated up early, right? There you go. Good swing. Good swing right there. Good job, bud.
Yeah, a little fat, a little late. That one almost felt like I picked it.
Okay. I'm much of the mind I'd rather you have a feeling that you're kind of, as you miss, you're picking it maybe thin
Yeah.
than fat.
That-
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Nobody takes the fat girl to the dance. There we go.
Felt good.
Look good, man. Look at that low point. Very good.
3.4.
Right? And here's the other thing that I'm starting to notice here, Robert, just as a side note, right? Our cone and miss now is like in this area,
Yeah.
right? I can play golf that way. I can't play golf when I'm over here.
You're
Does
right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Even if you are missing it a little bit, maybe coming up a little bit short on our numbers, or maybe just coming to the front edge of the green, still got a chance, right?
Yeah.
Those guys, that's scramble. That's Army golf at that point,
Yeah.
right?
It's like, okay, I hate to hit these 40-yard shots, 30-yard shots. It's all finesse.
Correct.
A lot of times I'll short side myself on the green, so I don't have nothing to work with.
Gotcha. Okay, but the big thing is now your cone and miss is more down the middle where we want it to be, right? Where we want it to be. I'm starting to see more of your swing be more of this direction than this direction, if that makes sense. And I think that's no really, you know, maybe a little special part to me, but really the big guy here today is this guy right here. I think just having this visual aid back here
Back
behind
here.
the ball
Yeah.
gives you an idea or a sense of when I need to get that club elevated and how I need to get that club descending, right?
Like, see, I've done it, you know, like I said, I'll show you.
Mhm.
What I do is I'll play the ball way forward.
Okay.
Almost like a driver swing. And then I have to hit this thing. Have to hit down on it. I mean, I just got to it.
Yeah, but you're gonna start getting into the world of a slide. You're gonna start getting a
Oh,
slide,
so
and then
I'm-
this is gonna start getting worse.
So it's
okay?
better to put like a towel down or.
Yes,
Something like
absolutely.
that.
I'd rather you do this. Here, I'll give you a great little drill, okay, to kind of get a good idea of sense, down, power, where it all comes from, right? And what we do, right, as my instructor would always tell me, get my feet together just as this, okay? And if you want to get a control of the club face, number one, and number two, if I just kind of do this, you're going to notice how much power I get automatically, okay? I don't need to do anything crazy with it, okay? But then I start to build it out further and further, okay? Okay? then you're going to start to figure out where your low point is, okay? So,
Yeah, 'cause I've always tried to, I'll sit there and say, okay, take right, brush your grass. Your grass, you gotta be brushed up in here. Gotta brush your grass. And of course, I'll say, what did I do?
Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but the worst part of me saying is you're trying, right?
Yeah.
It can't be forced, right? It's got to be one of those things that's subconsciously in our head when we do it, right? And that's why we got to practice so much of this stupid game, right? But as I kind of go, I just get like this, and if I just swing this club and do it, I'm going to get where a good feeling of the low point. I'm going to feel myself pinching the ball, and you're going to notice that you get so much more distance compared to what you think you wouldn't get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So come on over here, okay? Because I really don't want you to start working on getting on over here and then trying to slide into it, because you're really at this point, then you're going to start getting used to, I got to get this thing there, and I'm going to start doing this, getting the club really shut to accommodate how far forward our shoulders and hips would be. Okay? So go ahead and put our heels together, feet splayed out. Yep. And just give me a gentle swing here. Just swing the club. Don't hit the ball, just swing the club. That's okay, but did you feel how your weight went backwards?
Yeah.
Okay. We want to make sure that we kind of keep that weight neutral or forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to help us what we're trying to do with our low point, right? Good. Do you feel that thing coming off the face?
No, it was like mush. I mean, I could feel it, but it was.
All right. Feel how you're kind of flipping at it a little bit there?
Yeah, I can feel
Okay.
my wrist coming through.
Right. Okay. Just swing the club. Let it be as light as a feather. All right, feel yourself kind of hitting it just a little bit behind there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got it a little bit too far back. Okay. There you go. There you go. One more from the big guy. Okay, so this is definitely a drill that I'd like for you to kind of do for your balance and stuff like that and get your low point. Really what we want to try to do, what this does is it helps us with our low point and it helps us with face control. Okay, but when we start hearing that fat, that probably means
Like
that
that?
we're swinging the club and not we're trying to hit the ball, not swing the club. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So here, let me kind of move. So set up for me. Go ahead and set up. I'm going to kind of, I don't worry about the ball. Go ahead, set up. Yep. Good. So I'm gonna feel. Okay, I'm gonna move the club here. Okay. There we go. There we go. Feel that?
Yeah.
That's swinging the club. There's speed and not a lot of distance, right? There we go. Okay. That's what we gotta get to. There we go. Feel that? Feel how loose your arms were there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yes.
Whoops.
Hey, it's ready to go, man. It's hot. Swing the club. How'd that one feel?
Felt good.
Okay. Let's take a look at that guy. Alright, so with the feet together, okay, and not really using much of the lower body, you hit that a total of 109.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So, does that give you an idea where the power comes from?
Yeah.
Okay? Good. Okay? Look, what are we trying to accomplish?
Actually, I come up on that just a little bit.
A little bit, but compared to our full
Well,
swing,
yeah.
right? Okay, but that's so much better, right? And if I could get you to kind of stop right here, that would be golden for what we're trying to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you get on up here just a little bit, right? But look where we're keeping our hands, away from our head. Okay, as we come on through. Okay. See how you're holding that lag a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, see how your hands are right there in front of your thigh right there as you come through?
Yeah.
Then you kind of scoop just a little bit, but it's after. Okay? We'll get to turning that left side a little bit harder sooner. But right now, trying to get this width that we have here to create power and consistency. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions right now, Robert? Anything I can answer for you?
So on that swing, it should be just like this.
Yeah, I would say, here, let me jump on in there real quick so you get a visual. Right? It doesn't need to be very long. You know, probably like a hip high or...
Because I have a tendency, when I swing like that,
Mhm.
is I'll hit
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get you away from.
instead
is-
of
right,
swinging
having
and dropping them down.
Right, having it drop down and getting a little bit more of the body involved than just the hands doing
Yeah.
all the work, right? So it's kind of like this. I'm kind of get to here, right? Just kind of flip the club up, I feel like. And okay. So once again, if you kind of watch me here, all right, get just like this, okay? See, I'm just going to get to about where a wrist cock is, okay? And that way I can kind of work on keeping my hands down, getting that shaft lean like we're talking about right there, right? And go. Okay. And that's all I want to try to do. It's going to do two things for us. One, it's going to help get that shaft lean forward, right? And the other is you're going to start noticing where you're hitting it on the face. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so once again, as I get here, feet close together, and I'm just kind of getting it up to about, what, waist high or so. A little bit of a wrist hinge here a little bit. All right, so here. And the other thing is that if we kind of do this, it takes away the extra length that you can get into up here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, big guy. So let's talk about a few things here, right? One thing that we have to do is, as far as what we see down the lines, we got to start working on our club path a little bit, right? Getting too far to the inside a little bit, right? Now, we could get a playing board, start swinging on that, okay? But I think really having a little device like this of some sort, I think did visually better for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so getting that thing probably, what, maybe 10 inches, 8 inches or something
Right.
like that, something that's comfortable, right? but then getting the idea of I've got to swing up and over that, getting my wrist hinge like we talked about, right? Getting my shoulders to turn with my wrist hinge, right? And then getting that angle down and through, right? Getting that forward shaft lean that we're looking for, right? Okay. So that's what we kind of see on the face or down the line view, making sure we're not getting inside here. And I think having this visual here gives you a good start point than getting like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, when we look on it face on here, right, they talked about how we have losing our posture, right? And that's because we create a little bit of a lift at the top. We want to try to feel like we're short and wide, like we see with John Rahm here, okay? And the other one that we saw that wasn't detected before, but it's detected now, is a little bit of a reverse pivot. So we're getting our chest closer to the target than our hips.
And so get that back over that leg or
Correct.
that hip.
Correct. Now, you can do one of the kind of extremes, right? I like to kind of get this right across my chest and then turn and feel like my sternum's more over my right foot. Okay, if that makes sense, that's where I like to kind of be. Okay. The other one, I'm trying to think of the other one that I heard about for this. Yeah. Good. Okay. Now the other one you can kind of do that one of my old instructors used to do was he'd have me swing, and you can see where I've got the camera over there. He'd have me look at the camera, so I'd go like this. Does that make sense? I'm definitely going to have my weight over there. It gives me the sense. It's not going to be my golf swing.
Yeah.
But if I kind of go like this and I turn, there's no way I can be reversed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it gives me a sense of if I get here, I'm definitely going to be over my right side a little bit. Okay?
That's what, in other words, that'd be like facing that TV, it'd be swinging back.
Correct. Looking at the TV, right? And now your chest is
The weight back here, I can feel a little tension through here, crunch.
Perfect.
I guess you'd want to say.
or a little crease right here in our groin area,
Yeah.
right? You can feel that little crease right there, and that's what we're trying to go for right there. For you right now, it's kind of a little bit more like hips go this way, chest goes that way. Okay, and then we got to this way. All right, so if I can get you to kind of turn back behind that, now we can kind of run towards that ball, right? And then rotate and turn through a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What questions do you have for me today, Robert?
That's it. I mean, I'll work on those, but of course I'm going to see you Friday, so.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how the weather's going to be tomorrow, but I know I'm going to play today.
Okay, good, good. What I would do is, if you got a chance, head on over to Home Depot or something like that. Find a little something like
Buy
that.
a wedge.
Yeah, I mean, or you can buy them on Amazon. Jeff Bezos will have one at your door today if he's not up in space somewhere.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my grips from Jeff Bezos.
Are you?
Well, yeah, I talked to Kyle. I says, Kyle, I said, I know you do grips and that. I says, but I got a good deal on mine. What would you charge me to, pull them off? Put them on? $2 a grip. I'm going, $2 a grip? That ain't worth my time.
Yeah.
There ain't no way. He says, well, what'd you get them for? And I says, well, I got the Golf Bride, what was it, CP4. It's half cord, and then it's a thicker
Yeah.
on the bottom one.
Yes.
It's a real nice grip, and they normally sell for anywhere from $14.50 to $15.50 just for the grip.
Yeah.
Well, so a set of 13 was going to be $181. Well, they had a special for $132. And I said, man, I can't pass that up.
Absolutely.
And of course, these do need to be re-gripped. They're getting into that
Yeah.
area that, well, not every club, but I'd still re-grip them all, so I had the same grip. But the ones I use the most and practice with the most. And
So is he going to do those for you?
yeah, he just told me. He says, give me a call. I'll see if I'm down there. He says, I'll meet you, and I'll take your clubs. He says, I'll have them done either that night or very next thing in the morning.
Okay. Good.
Good.
Very good. Very good. So good. But that's about all I have for you today. So I'll definitely see you Friday. Work on those things, okay? As I said, work on your swing plane.
So the big thing on that,
Yeah.
this one drill that
Yeah.
you were showing me, with the feet together and
Mm-hmm.
that there, is I have a tendency to want to go
Okay.
instead of swing.
Yeah, you've got to. It's got to. If there's anything I can say, you have to imagine there's not a ball there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You've got to just let your body kind of swing through it, and the club will do the work, will capture the ball. But once we start to get ball bound, right, then I'm going to hit this ball, then we start to freeze up.
Yeah.
We start to take that athletic person that we are, and we throw them out, and we start to become this data driven person, or
Yeah.
I'm trying to perform, right? And we can't, we just, as human beings, we can't. We would love to, right? But we just can't, right? But it's got to be one of those things that I'm just kind of, boom, an old drill that we used to do to kind of get us out of that, right? Is they put, 20 tees in a row, and you'd have to go,
Oh, the walking drill?
yeah, and just, because you can't think, right?
Yeah.
You got to hit the ball. You have to be an athlete to hit that ball. There's no time to sit there and go, well, I better get my hands over here, better do this. It's just load and fire. Boom, boom, boom. And if you notice that, right, what am I doing? I'm doing a very small version of what we were talking about. See how I'm stepping? Right, I go like this, step, boom, transfer weight, boom, back, transfer weight, boom. You see, I do that absolutely naturally when I do that, right? And that just brings out the athlete in us. But once we start to put a ball there and say, hey, it's time for performance. Yee.
Yeah, everything goes through your mind. And
Oh, man.
I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that.
Is the cart girl going to meet me on 13? Am I gonna put this in the water? Is Jimmy over there going to make a noise? There's so many things that go through your head, except just being an athlete, right? Okay. What other questions do you have?
That's it.
Okay. So keep working on those things. You're going to head over to the range today?
In fact, I think I'm gonna leave here and go there because I'm playing about, I think 122 is my tee time.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
So
go over there and hit
really
some
just
balls.
let's think about one thing today. Let's just think about this little guy right here, right? Just think about him. I think he was the most profound and best little thing we kind of did today for us. Just kind of have that same thing in our mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm going to see you Friday.
Friday morning.
No questions?
No questions.
All right, my man. We'll keep working at it. Let me know how it goes.